Hey guys, BuildZoid here, and today we're gonna do what it is probably a filler, like kind of a filler video. Somebody left a comment on the channel, and I can't remember under which video, but they left a comment going like, "Hey BuildZoid, could you do a buying guide for dual rank memory sticks?" And so the easiest way to get dual rank is to buy 2 kits of 2x8, and that's the most cheapest way to do it. But you need to know exactly what you're buying, and you have to not be terrible at memory. Also, you're not going to get any help from the manufacturer if whatever you bought doesn't work, because they don't the reason they sell those memory sticks separately in 2x8 is because they don't guarantee that they're all going to work together, which might sound ridiculous, but they change the memory chips at based on whatever's cheapest at the time of manufacturing. So, um, anyway, yeah, so dual rank in the form of so if you want dual rank memory sticks instead of just a dual rank memory configuration, life gets really difficult, especially in the 16 gigabyte memory size. If you're going for 32 gigabyte memory sticks, those are always dual rank because we don't have big enough memory chips to make them single rank. But for 16 gigs, there's plenty of 16 gigabit memory chips at this point. You've got 16 gigabit chips from Hynix. I don't know what they're called, but there's 16 gigabit Hynix chips. There's 16 gigabit Samsung chips that I also don't know what they're called. Actually, no, there's Samsung M die, which is trash, so you really don't want that. And then there's also Samsung, well, there's some other dies from Samsung, but there's Samsung M die in 16 gigabit, which I would assume probably ends up in your 2400 kits and that kind of thing. Because that stuff's really bad. It's terrible. It won't even reliably do 3200 ZL16, so very unlikely that you'd end up with that unless you're buying some really, really low-end memory. Then there's Micron Rev B, and Rev B is actually really good. It clocks really high. It does better timings than Rev E. It's easier to work with than Rev E. It's just a straight upgrade from Rev E. And it's a great memory chip, but it's 16 gigabit, and so if you buy a 16 gigabyte memory stick with Rev B, it's single rank, so you don't get that, dual rank performance benefit that you'd normally get, which is fine if you're on a platform like Intel where you can just clock the memory to the sky. Not so fine when you're on AMD, where, you really don't want to be going over whatever the Infinity Fabric maxes out at. That's normally around 3000. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go through this. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to remove everything rated below 3200, because if it's rated below 3200, it's probably garbage. I mean, 3200 CL16 is still probably garbage, but below 3200, it's going to be really, really bad instead of just kind of bad. So the thing is, so let's just go through this. So this, I don't know how many ranks this is going to have. I have no idea how many ranks that's going to have. No idea how many ranks that's going to have. I know for a fact that you can get these crucial kits. These days, you can get these in both single rank and dual rank. So you can get them single rank Rev B. You can get them in dual rank Rev E. Dual rank Rev E, they overclock very differently depending on which configuration you get. So that's pretty annoying, and I would assume that they're leaning more and more towards Rev B. So the later production kits are almost guaranteed to be Rev B, in my opinion, just because generally it's cheaper to make your memory sticks with less memory chips. So even if higher capacity but fewer memory chips. So anyway, so down here it's basically these are all just lottery kits down here, because there's no specific memory chip that won't do 3200. Well, there's no specific chip that only does no, that's not what I keep getting it backwards. The thing about 3200 CL14, assuming it's 14 14 14 and not I think G-Skill has a 14 18 bin, which is some Hynix thing, but 3200 14 14 is that there is literally only one memory chip that does that reliably enough to have that as an XMP profile, and that's why it's you see a 3200 14 14 kit and it's just it's gotta be Samsung B die, because you can't make it with anything else. Unless you're crucial and use the crazy bin Rev B that they have, which would actually probably do 3200 14 14 just fine. It might even do 12 14. at 1.35 volts. But you know, ignoring that stuff, because Crucial, like, luckily for us, Crucial focuses their memory product line on like raw frequency instead of like weird timing combinations. So yeah, that's nice. And like, Crucial isn't going to go and make a 3200 CL12 kit, even though I'm pretty sure they do have they have memory chips from Micron that could do that. And that would be single rank if they did that. That would be single rank. So that still wouldn't be, like, you still wouldn't necessarily want it, but it would be kind of neat. Like, I'd think it's pretty neat. Anyway, so we've got, yeah, so 3616. That, again, is just like, it's going to be anything under, well, Rev B or Rev E. Oh, nope, those are flares, but they're in CL16, so that's no good. So 3619, 19. This video isn't very helpful. And it's just like, I can't be helpful. Like, the memory manufacturers don't specify what memory chips they use, so it's just like, what am I supposed to do about that? Wait a minute, this is 4018. Is that 1822? It's 1822. I wonder what this is made with. Because, like, G-Skill, I'm not aware of G-Skill using, like, a lot of Micron. But it's probably Micron. Or because, well, technically it could be, like, dual rank Hynix DJR. Which, if you're looking for dual rank memory, is not a bad option. Like, DJR is actually a very solid memory chip in terms of performance. Yeah, I wouldn't want to bet on this. And I think there might be some Hynix 16 gigabit chip that does 4000 CL18 that's like, that would make this single rank. So yeah, it could also still be B-die. Like, but actually, no, at this price, that's not going to be B-die. Like, the thing is, even like low bin B-die kits generally come at a premium. What's this then? Also 1822. Yeah, I suspect this is going to be like Hynix DJR for all of these, or it's some kind of, like, it might be Micron memory chips. But if it's Micron, it's probably single rank, because Rev B is just so much, like, it's super convenient for the, like, 16 gig stick. Yeah, so I haven't skipped over anything that I didn't want to skip over. Like, this is all just like lottery bins, where it's just like, yeah, this can be pretty much any memory chip under, like, it can be, like, basically everything in this range, it can technically be Micron Rev B. And so, yeah, you're kind of just like, well, this could very easily be single rank, unless this is 1616. No, it's 1619. So yeah, it could also be like, again, they're like, the thing is just like, the manufacturers don't guarantee the memory chips, right? So that's like the biggest issue, because it's like, if G-Skill went and said, yeah, we make this with Hynix DJR and only Hynix DJR, then it's like, yeah, you're always going to get that in dual rank. But it's just like, nah, it's a 32 gig. Well, it's 2x16, 3616. There's a bunch of memory chips that'll do that. So, oh, I think this might actually be B-die, depending on what the spec is. Oh, no, 17. Actually, no, I think there was, like, B-die is awkward, because there's, like, the 16 gig DIMMs are actually kind of hard, like, well, for a while there was, like, early 16 gig B-die DIMMs would actually have really terrible timings because of because of how heavy B-die is on the memory controller. So for compatibility reasons, you'd have like a perfectly good set of B-die, but with really loose TRCD, because it won't run otherwise. So this, I think, might have been B-die at some point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this might even still be B-die right now. But yeah, I wouldn't want to bet on it at this point. What about this? 1718. Okay, this is B-die. I'm actually surprised that this isn't more expensive. This is 4000 CL17. Is this perhaps like bugged out or something? Yeah, this is a really neat kit of memory right here. I like this. I mean, you know, $300 definitely not the most cost-effective option, but the funny thing is, yeah, like not even remotely the most cost-effective option. Like arguably, you could just buy like 2 sets of this stuff, right? And regardless of if it's dual rank or not, like, you're gonna turn out better. Like if you buy 2 kits of this stuff for 145, right? That's gonna cost you $300. So it's going to cost you about the same as this kit right here. You're going to get your dual rank. You're guaranteed to get dual rank that way, because either you're going to get 1 set that's dual rank, or you're going to get single rank sets, but you're going to get 2 of them. So you're going to have 4 stakes, and then you're going to be back up to dual rank anyway. Unless you're on Threadripper, but you know, if you were on Threadripper, you'd be buying 2 of these kits. Or X290. Well, yeah, Threadripper or X299, you'd have to buy 2 of these kits anyway, because you really don't want to be running dual channel. So, yeah, like that's kind of the thing. Is just like, I guess it's kind of annoying that you for at the lower end of the price range, you can't guarantee getting a dual rank kit. But compared to like buying just like a hard dual rank bin, like a 4000 CL17, like you're just better off buying really like 2 sets of a cheaper kit. Or you could just go and buy a straight up 2x32, right? Like that's also an option. Which, speaking of also an option, let's do that. Because that's the thing, is like 2x32, because it is physically impossible to make 32 gig DIMMs with less than 2 ranks of memory chips. So no, what am I doing? 2x32. There. So, yeah, like the cheapest 2x32 kit, which, okay, this is probably not going to overclock very well. But do we have something decent by spec? And that costs about the same as the G-Skill kit, yeah. So, given the choice, I would go with this. Like, because I don't care about capacity. Also, if you're going to overclock this, you are going to hate your life when you need to run memtest for like 2 days. Like that's the reason you haven't seen me do like a full stable 64 gig memory overclock yet, is just like it takes so long to stress test it. And I am just like, nope. I'm so not interested in waiting for it to finish. Because the thing is, it's like if it takes, you know, X number of minutes to hit a error on 16 gigs of RAM, then it takes roughly twice as long to hit that same error on 32 gigs, and then it takes twice as long again for 64. So if you have one of those overclocks that on like a 16 gig kit is failing after the like 100% memtest pass, on a 64 gig kit that takes for freaking ever. So yeah, I really like that. That's kind of the thing, is like 64 gig kits are annoying to overclock. So yeah. Also, this is BDI, so once you tighten this up, this is actually going to be faster. So yeah, like 32 gig DIMMs guarantee dual rank, but they like if you buy something. Actually, this is 3600. I mean, it's 3618, but that's actually like I actually have a similar bin from Team Group. It might even be somewhere here. Oh, I have one of these kits. Yeah. I got one of these kits from Team Group. I'm not sure if it was 3200 or 3600 now, but it did overclock a little bit. I think it topped out at like 3666. And it could tighten up the subtimings okay-ish. Like TRFC wasn't too bad. And then all the other ones were basically what you normally get. So yeah, this isn't necessarily a terrible option. But again, like for raw performance, this is going to be better, and this is going to take twice as long to stress test. So, you know, again, if you're overclocking, more memory capacity is the enemy of overclocking, because you're going to sit there like, so yeah, like it's just like, I don't like extra capacity sounds like if you don't need extra capacity, you really don't want the extra capacity as far as I'm concerned, because it just makes everything more difficult. Anyway, yeah, so like 32 gig kit, like 32 gig DIMMs are like an interesting option. Which with the 32 gig DIMMs, I would primarily, like, if you definitely intend to overclock, I would tend towards Crucial's memory kits that are made up of 32 gig DIMMs, because those are going to use Micron Rev B, and I've actually had the 32 gig DIMMs go all the way up to like 4400 on Z490. I didn't get it stable, because after several hours of trying to, I just kind of gave up on it. But like there is definitely a way to get it to run properly, because it wasn't like it was erroring a lot. It was erroring very infrequently, which is why I eventually gave up on it, because it wasn't like I was sitting there watching, errors roll through memtest. It was like one error every 50%, which is after testing, 32 gigs of RAM. Or I think I had one setup where it like did 120% before hitting an error. And so, yeah, 64, like technically there's headroom in these. The issue is they suck to stabilize. So Crucial is sort of like for 64 gig kits. Yeah, I'd probably lean towards Crucial, just because these are all going to be using Micron Rev B, and Rev B, especially like 3200 and up, they're going to use Micron Rev B. And Rev B, very overclockable, very, very good memory chip. There is a pretty significant quality difference between the 3200 bin and the 3600 bin, right? So like these will actually, like the 3600 bin will pretty consistently do much lower TRCD than the 3200 bin, right? Which like the 3200 bin is, where do we have a Crucial 3200? Like this right here. Oh, I actually have these exact sticks in white. Yeah. So for me, at 3600, these will need like TRCD 19 or 20. Whereas the 3600 bin comes with, like out of the box, this comes with a TRCD of 18. So there's like a 1 or 2 tick advantage at stock. Like this doesn't do the same, like this, well, I'm not sure how consistent it is, because I do have a sample size of 1. But yeah, my 3200 CL16 kit can't do the stock XMP of this, even with extra voltage, because TRCD does not scale with voltage. It only, like, it's just a quality thing. So if you have really good sticks, your TRCD goes really low. At least for Micron Rev B, the TRCD doesn't really scale with voltage. So, yeah, there's also not that much of a price difference between these. So yeah, honestly, if you weren't overclocking, this is really cool RAM as far as I'm concerned. Like you still want to stress test it, but at stock it's going to be stable. Like it's almost certainly going to be stable, though. Man, that price tag is really high. Oh well, I'm glad I don't need 64 gigs of RAM. I'm really happy I don't need 64 gigs of RAM, because the price is, and then of course like the overclocking process for them is just way more annoying. But yeah, if like the thing is, you don't really have a bunch of really interesting options down here, do you? Oh well, you do have the 3600 G Skill kit. Like the advantage of buying a kit that just comes at 3600 is that you don't have to, like, it's not guaranteed that it's going to be stable, but the chances that it's not going to be stable are much, much, much lower than when you buy a 3200 CL16 and then decide to overclock it, right? Like, that's kind of the thing. And that's not a bad price. And yeah, it's, it's CL18, but the thing is 3618 is equivalent to 3200 CL16 in terms of latency, but you've also got a 400 megahertz clock speed advantage. So overall, this just performs better because you've got more memory bandwidth and the same latency. So, there's no disadvantages. So anyway, that's sort of the high capacity stuff, I guess. Yeah, there's not that many options. Whoa, wait, okay, no. Well, no, that's still, whoa, that is so way too expensive. Also, that is going to be like a compatibility nightmare. 4,000 on 2. Well, actually, not really. It's almost certainly going to be Micron Rev B. Actually, 18. I think G-Skill's using some, like, Hynix chip. And though, actually, this should all, like, this could be Micron, this could be some kind of Hynix. Oh, so I guess Crucial doesn't yet have a 4000 CL18 bin, which I guess makes sense, because 4,000, like, the thing is, the sticks will do it. Like, my kit of 30, actually, I have 2 sets of 3600 CL16 from Crucial, and both of them will go well over 4,000. The main issue is getting it stable. So I'm guessing that there's not really a, or maybe it's just not in stock. Let's do that. Oh no, they don't have a 4,000 bin. At least not released to any retailers. Which, yeah, I'm going to assume it's just Crucial doesn't want to deal with the inevitable onslaught of people who buy the memory kit, stick it into their motherboard, and it doesn't work. Because honestly, yeah, like 4,000, especially on dual rank, it's like, it's not impossible, it's just hard. And Crucial seems to sort of lean towards making memory kits that just work. Like, I've yet to have a Crucial kit where the at least, like, the XMP just works. Almost, well, there's one exception, and that's the 5100 kit. That kit is like a stress test for your CPU's memory controller, and your motherboard's, like, topology quality. But other than that, actually, no, even the 5100 on that still works, though. Like, the XMP on that works. It just doesn't overclock very well if your motherboard or CPU aren't great. So yeah. Anyway, so for 32 gig DIMMs, I would basically always just go Crucial, because with them you at least know for a fact that you're gonna get Micron Rev B, whereas with the other manufacturers it's like, who knows what you're gonna get. Which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad memory, and especially if you're buying some of the cheaper kits, like, it should, well, like, if you're, just going for the cheapest possible kit, like, you don't really have a choice, because Crucial isn't the cheapest way of getting 64 gig memory sticks, but, I mean, 64 gig kits, but, yeah, down here it's just like, I don't know what you're going to get. It's probably still going to be overclockable to some extent, but, like, if you get Samsung M die, you're going to be stuck at, like, 3200 CL18. So, there's not really much you can do about it. Anyway, so let's go back to the 32 gig kits. So yeah, this is a solid option. Unfortunately, it is very expensive. But yeah, this is a really solid option. What else do we have? Let's scroll back down to where it was. No, that's 3600. Oh yeah, so that's 4017. That's really not too bad. Crucial Ballistics Max, this is single rank Rev B. Very overclockable. Like, these kits, I would be very surprised if you couldn't get, like, if you just want to do validations, I'd be surprised if you couldn't do DDR4 5000 with, like, a Ryzen 3000 series and a good motherboard. DDR4 5000 should be extremely easy to do. But, yeah, single rank, of course. Otherwise, it wouldn't do frequencies that high. 4016. Wait, they're only charging $339 for that? Really? Oh, wait, what? Why is Amazon at 526? It's in stock as well. And yeah, 16, 19, 19. Like, this is great. Like, damn. It's a really solid kit of memory right there. Oh, then you have your 3200 CL14, which this is pointless, as far as I'm concerned. Like, the price on these is the same, so... Though I guess, well, yeah, that's from Amazon. But yeah, like, like, just get the 4000 CL16 kit. Like, there's no discussion to be had there as far as I'm concerned, like, 4016. What's this? 16, 16, 16. This is also B-die, but it's worse spec than the 4000 CL16, which I guess depending on what's available, like, that's fine, but, like, as long as this is available, or even the 4000 CL17, which is cheaper, like, this is great, this is great, this is not really that cost effective, this is very not cost effective considering, the other options at this price range. And you might be looking at these Corsair kits over here and be like, are these any good? And the answer to that is, I have no idea, because Corsair likes to do bins like that. Which is like, That's a lottery bin. There's a decent chance this is actually like a halfway, like a pretty solid kit of B die. There's also a pretty decent chance it's Micron Rev B or Rev E or Hynix DJR. Like it could be basically anything with a spec like that. So yeah, and the thing is, it's like this. It's like that for basically all the memory manufacturers that aren't tied directly to a specific like a memory chip manufacturer, right? Like you have Clev, who's part like basically, well, actually, Clev was set up by Hynix to sell RAM. Then there's Crucial, which is owned by Micron. So Crucial only sells Micron, and that's really convenient because if you look at their specs, you can almost immediately tell what memory chip it's going to be. But then if you have like a G-Skill, with G-Skill, you like if it's 3200 CL16, it's going to be any memory chip under the sun. If it's 3600 1619, then it's like is probably some form of Hynix something. It might also be Micron. It can also occasionally be Samsung B-Die, which is just like, yeah, and then Corsair is even worse than that because Corsair doesn't do the like generally doesn't. Well, they've had some really interesting bins recently, but they don't really like G-Skill is where you get your 4000 CL17 bins and your 4000 CL16 bins, and Corsair doesn't really do that kind of thing. So with Corsair, you're stuck with like 4000 CL18, which it's good for compatibility. It makes it very unlikely that your memory kit isn't going to work, but the downside is it's also going to be any memory chip that they manage to dig up when they're manufacturing the sticks. So you'll have no like until you get your hands on the sticks, you won't know what's in them, which is really annoying. So anyway, moving on. So far I've like my favorite so far is that 4000 CL17 G-Skill kit. Yeah, this is just overpriced, especially for 3466 CL16. Like this could be even a Hynix CJR at that point. Does this have terrible TRCD? Yes, it does. Honestly, the cache latency spec is kind of pointless. Like, TRCD is way more important than cache latency, both for identifying what memory chips you're going to get and for performance. So, max RGB, but, crucial, 4000. This is going to be this is going to be Rev B, not Rev E. The 3600 CL16 can occasionally be dual rank Rev E, but occasionally, and that's the whole issue, right? What else do we have? So we have Crucial, more Corsair. That no, just no. Like that's 3200 CL16, 4000 CL19 G-Skill. Just get the previous G-Skill kits instead, I think. Though I'm pretty sure this has to be B-Die. I think this is just 19s. So interesting thing, actually, Crucial somehow manages to get really good TRCD out of the Micron memory chips that they have. Which is how Crucial has like a 4000 1919 Ballistics Max kit using Micron chips. For everybody else, if TRCD if your TRCD to frequency like effective speed ratio is less than 200, or is more than 200, so you take your memory speed and you divide it by your TRCD, the number you get, right? So 4000 divided by 20, that's 200. Well, anything higher than 200, so like 4000 divided by 19, that'll be over 200. That guarantees that it can't be anything other than B-Die. At least if you're looking at like G-Skill or Corsair or any other memory vendor that isn't Crucial. Because for whatever reason, Crucial somehow manages to get TRCD 19 working on the Micron chips that they have, which is like, yeah, I don't know how they do that. It's really cool, but yeah, like it does also mean that rule that doesn't work. And we have the 4400 Crucial. Actually, this is also 19 if I'm not mistaken on TRCD. You mean timing none? How can they have no timings? Cast 19, yeah. Man, I hate how memory manufacturers refuse to specify the TRCD. Damn it, guys, what is wrong with you? It's like, yeah, because that timing's actually useful, unlike cast latency, which doesn't tell you anything. So, yeah, anyway, I'm pretty sure this has to be 19, like, I'm pretty sure this is 19. Which again is just like, I have no idea how Crucial gets that to work, because on any other vendor that would be like a 1926 or something. But then there's Crucial. They have to be doing something to to the PCB or the memory chips to get the TRCD that low. Um, anyway, what else is there? Okay, well that's just overpriced. That's just overpriced, and that's just overpriced. There's a bunch of memory kits that aren't in stock, but basically, like, most of it comes down to buying, like, hard B-die bins. So, like, this right here, this is a hard B-die bin, right? Because 14, 16, 16. So, 3,800 divided by 16 is more than 200. And that's it. It's like, bam, B-die. So this is going to be dual rank, and it's going to be B-die, and it's probably going to be really expensive whenever it comes back in stock. Oh, and then there's, of course, 3,200, 14, 14 for B-die. So yeah, this is the main reason I didn't do a memory buying guide for dual rank memory sticks, because one, most of the 16 gig sticks is like, I don't know if they're dual rank. I would be very like, as time goes on, it becomes less and less likely that a 16 gig stick is going to be dual rank, unless it's a hard bin, like unless it's B-die, right? So unless it's like a B-die spec, because we do not yet have a 16 gigabit memory chip that can do like 4,000 at the CL17, like 17, 18, 18, or whatever it was, that G-Skill kit. This was 17, 18, right? Yeah. Like we do not yet have a 16 gigabit memory chip that'll do TRCD 18 at 4,000 megahertz. And because of that, this is a safe bet for dual rankness and, of course, Samsung B-die, and therefore overclocking capabilities. But for anything like anything looser, it's just like, it's gonna be anything under the sun. There's even a 4266 in, wait, 1718. Wait, is that still, what? That's a thing? At one, like 1 point, that, but like what? Damn. Man, G-Skill is just like, I wonder how many how many kits, like how many of these they're able to manufacture. It's not even that expensive, right? That's like damn, that's a really good spec right there. How is that not on PC Part Picker? I get the feeling that PC Part Picker might be lagging behind Newegg. So let's actually, like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go through Newegg. No, that's not what I wanted to click on. Desktop memory, 16 gigs per module. And we're going to go highest price to lowest price. And I think I will also do... that's fine. Oh, and we don't need to look at the super high capacity kits. Those are annoying. Okay, I don't think there's any 16 gig DDR3 sticks. So I'm not sure why I needed to block those. We don't want that. Wait, what? Why would you... What? There's no triple channel platforms. Why is 3x16 a thing? Anyways, and no, let's include the 4x16s. Those might be somewhat... okay, that was a big mistake. Okay, so just don't. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, that's just... Yeah, that's just Micron Rev B. Yeah, but anyway, like if you, so you can get this DDR4 5000 out of those 4400 Crucial sticks. Like the bin quality should be about the same between the 4400 Crucial and that Corsair kit right there. Anyway, so let's go down. I'm starting to regret the inclusion of those 4x16 kits. Yeah, that was dumb. Let's just go through the 2x16s. It's not like that many people have Threadrippers anyway. There is one major issue that I've just noticed. We can't see the CL from the listings very easily. Does this? Oh, that works a lot better, doesn't it? Yeah, 182626, 1925. The funny thing is, I've seen these sticks secondhand, like this speed bin, BB die. But it's also very likely Micron. Also, this is, yeah, actually, no, I think I'm not, I don't think I've seen this. But there was some Corsair kit where I like saw it on eBay. And I was like, damn, those are some horrible timings. And then, of course, the version number on the memory stick is version 4.31, which is like, well, that's B-die, so... I don't know why Corsair does that. Like, why don't they just make like a 1919 bin? You know, so that people like me who actually care about what memory chips we get can go specifically for that. But anyway, the thing is, most people just look at the memory frequency, and that's the only thing they care about. So advertising the TRCD, like if I had to, if I go shopping for RAM, I'm most interested in the TRCD. The average consumer doesn't even know what TRCD is. I mean, to be fair, I don't know what TRCD does either, but I do know that it's more important than TCL, and that's the part I care about. Whereas most people just go like, ooh, 4400 megahertz, it must be fast. And it's just like, but, well, to be fair, at XM, like the funny thing is, at XMP, speed generally wins, unless you're on Ryzen, because the Infinity Fabric gets weird. Anyway, man, a lot of these kits have really awful reviews. I wonder why. Is it because people stick these in systems with horrible motherboards and then it doesn't work? 1821 cool. Crashes all the time in XMP mode. Yeah, so this guy probably put it onto a motherboard that just has no chance of running it. Man, it must suck to sell RAM. Especially the higher speed kits, I think, are going to be more subject to that because, like, the higher spec a memory kit is, the less likely it is to work without any effort. Wait, where's the... Why does this only show up when... Okay, so... Micron B-die. How is that a con? What is wrong with you? Like, Corsair doesn't guarantee that you're going to get dual rank. Secondary timing's hard to tighten. Slow latency. Teen 2222. Those are terrible timings. It was stable at 1.35 volts, but it's Micron. It's hard to... TRC greater than 60, TRFC greater than 600. It shouldn't really have to be greater than 600. The TRC, though, yeah, that's a real limit on these. It leads to slow latency. Well, maybe go buy a B-die bin instead of, you know, complaining about obviously not a B-die bin. It's 1822 for a reason. Does not run XMP. We have another person who... EVGA Z390 motherboard. I wonder what Z390 motherboard. He does have a 9900 KS, so that might be a dark. But the funny thing about Z390 and Micron memory chips is that they're basically not supported above 3600 megahertz. So unless you know exactly what you know, like exactly what you're doing, and also have a motherboard that gives you access to a bunch of like extra memory options that normally aren't, like you normally shouldn't have to mess with, yeah, it's not going to run. So that's the usual. One of the modules arrived defective. Oh well, that sometimes happens. This one has a lot of reviews. Come on, why does the... Okay, there we go. Finally figured out where the button is. He's running this on an X370 ASRock motherboard? If I had to guess, he forgot to... Wait, no, DDR4 3000. Why would you lump all the reviews together? Oh man, that is awful. Okay, well... It's like, yeah, DDR 4000 on... Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That'll work. There's no reviews for this kit, which is kind of... Oh man, I bet this was another bunch of people with motherboards and CPUs that can't run this. Maximus 11 Gene, but did not test stability. Okay, well, yeah, so this guy, yeah, well, that's a good board. Crashes all the time in XMP. I've read this one, haven't I? Oh yeah, I must have done this one first. Anyway. Oh, this went really off the rails. Now we're looking at 3616. I mean, 3216 at 1818, so that's just going to be whatever. 16, 18, 18 at 3466. So this, I would say there's a very high probability of Samsung B-die on that. But I still wouldn't really, like, I would just get a G-Skill kit where there's no doubt that it'll B-die. Samsung B-die, yeah, see, like, Corsair loves shoving B-die into completely mediocre XMPs. I have, like... Reliably consists, yeah, because it's Corsair. They put perfectly good memory chips in absolutely terrible sticks. Or more like in completely... Like, they could have done this as a 3466 1616, and then it would have eliminated, like, most of the other memory chips out there from that speed spec. I don't know why they don't do that. Like, I would do that, but then again, you know. What else do we have? But the thing is, this is not, like... considering that there was a 4000 CL17 G-Skill kit for $300. That seems really pointless. 1923. Oh, this has terrible reviews. And this is not even spec'd that well. It's surprising. Where did the CL17 kit go? What? No. Yeah, where did this go? I have it listed by price, don't I? I do. Why isn't it by price? Like, what the hell is going on down? Like, the hell is this? Like, what? $40 shipping. This has free shipping. How did I manage to skip? Well, whatever. Anyway, this is the ruler. Like, a kit is only worth considering if it has a better spec than this and also costs less. Or if it's like, well, no, you can have a worse spec but lower cost, or you can have a better spec and slightly higher cost. But 4017 like, that's good. That's really good right there. So, yeah, I don't think we're gonna find anything. 1920, 1620, 1619. Oh, at 3600, 1822 at 4000. No. 1619 at 3600. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. 1822 at 4000. Then we've got some 2666 kit, which is at 16, 16, 16. Yeah, so basically, if you want a good 2x16 kit, get this or get the 4266 version. I don't really know what else I would recommend. Well, yeah, well, no, this doesn't work because that's 1619. Like, no. 4000, yeah, so 4000, 1619, sure. 4000, 17, 18, 18. Is there a 1919? Oh, there's even a 1919, except that costs more money for some reason. Oh, because it's not sold by Newegg. Um, Anyway, so yeah, you've got some really solid like G-Skill memory kit options, and then everybody else is just like, well, if you really need something cheap for dual rank. Um, yeah. Like honestly, if you actually just want to guarantee dual rank, you're better off buying two 2x8 kits. Or a single 4x8 kit, but the thing with 4x8 kits is they tend to be really, really expensive. Um, so, like if I switch to 4x8, right? So down here, this is pretty okay. I mean, honestly, yeah, if you're going for, like, if you're just hell-bent on getting dual rank, this isn't a bad idea right here. I mean, that'll get you dual rank. It's probably not going to overclock very much, but hey, you might get Hynix CJR at this point, because I don't know if, like, AFR and MFR are still regularly used. And if you get CJR, you should be able to get, like, 3600 out of it quite easily. Even if you got Samsung C die, you should be able to get 3600 out of it quite easily. Um, what else do we have? We have 3200 CL16. We have a 3600 18 bin down here. Yeah, so you could get that for under $200. So that's not a bad option as far as I'm concerned. Does Crucial? No, Crucial does do 4x8 kits. Oh, so you've got these Ballistics Elite. That'll actually be... That's a really good bid. Like, I'm surprised that's at such a low price for what it is. And we've got some more 3216, 3216. Yeah. We've seen it all before. 3618 for $209. Oh, it's RGB, so you pay extra for that. 3616. So this might actually be some good memory chips. Like it's 1619, but like at least it like 3618 is like probably Samsung C die and some other memory chips that aren't really that well. Yeah, no, probably Samsung C die, and C die is really bad. Like the main issue with C die is you're not getting it past like 3733, which isn't too bad, I guess. But yeah, well, at stock it's fine, right? Like at stock it's fine. So honestly, this like there is a premium for like going for because what I want to show is 2x8 at 3200, and then the lowest price. Yeah, so you're paying like 40 something, like yeah, you're paying like $40 extra for compatibility. Because that's basically the thing, right? Like if you go and buy two 2x8 kits, they might not be the same memory chips, and some memory chips really, really hate each other. So if you put them together into a system, it's just going to be horrifically unstable. It might not even post. So that's kind of like, yeah, that's why the 4x8 kits cost extra, because these are like we've tested that this actually works together. And these are, definitely all the same memory chip. So you pay a bit extra, and if this doesn't work for you, then you can actually you're probably going to get better support from the manufacturer than if you buy two 2x8 kits and go like, yo, this doesn't work, and it's like, well, we don't sell it as a 4x8 kit, so screw you. That's your problem. You decided to do that. Go figure it out yourself. So yeah, anyway, let's see if there's like something really fast for 4x8. Not that. Though this I think is like this I do believe is a B-die bin from G-Skill, but it's not a good B-die bin. Cuz if I'm not mistaken, this is 1515. Like, oh, it apparently does. Okay, that does not work. Does it? Yeah, no, that does not work. Cool. What's this? Hynix CJR? Or DJR? Yeah, some probably Hynix DJR or CJR. Uh, oh wait, no, we just clicked on that. 3600. Ooh, this looks interesting. What is this? 1819. This, I believe, is B-die. Is it in stock? Yes, it is. So that's great. And yeah, this is actually cheaper, but it's also a weaker spec, right? So that's kind of the thing to consider is like, yeah, you know. Also, I think that might be on an A0. No, if it was produced this year, it shouldn't use an A0 PCB. But there's a very small chance that it still does, which is like these days, I would only want A2. Especially for use with a modern system, it's like you really do want A2. It's just better. Oh, then we have the 3617. I think this is the 1718. Wait, this is on Amazon again, so... Oh, it's currently unavailable. $4,000... Wait, they do a 4,000 CL15 4x8 kit. I mean, it is $360, but damn. That's a cool kit. That's a really cool kit right there. And then you also have a 4000 CL17 option in 4x8, but that is actually less. Actually, this is, no, that's 17, 18, 18. So it's the same thing as this again. I mean, this again. It's this again. Just, you know, well, you could run this on a Threadripper, whereas this obviously wouldn't play well with a Threadripper. So yeah, that exists. But if you're on a dual channel platform, just get this in the stead. This is more cost effective. And the performance is the same at stock. Like that's the other thing is like the stock performance is going to be the same. And the overclocking, I'm not sure which one's actually going to overclock better. I don't think there would be much of a difference. Oh, they even have a 4266 CL17 bin, but at $400. Okay, well, yeah, now we're getting into the ridiculous end of the 4x8 memory kits. Topping out at $1,100 for a 3600 kit. Oh, yeah, that's value right there. Is this what I think it is? Oh no, this is 1826. There was like a really... Is it this? No. No, it isn't. For a while, Corsair had a, like, I think it was 4400 CL17 Vengeance kit, which was, like, really cool. And I don't know where it went. Like, it wasn't RGB or anything. I think they don't make it anymore. Yeah, no, because that's just regular 19. So, anyway, I think I'll end it here for this kit. So, I mean, this video, not kit. Man, I can't even speak English anymore. Yeah, so that's kind of the thing. Like, if you can buy from Newegg, buy this, and if you can't buy from Newegg, buy like the thing is, it's just like if you're hell-bent on getting dual rank, then yeah, you can go for a 4x8 kit. That's the easiest way to guarantee dual rank, because you can't make a memory stick with less than a rank of memory chips, right? Like, can't do that. But the 16 gig DIMMs, unfortunately, like, unless you're buying something that's guaranteed to be B-die, it can be almost any memory chip configuration out there. And that basically means, like, you're going to have some pretty, like, at the same speed, you're actually going to have some pretty significant performance differences. And I will point this out. This has been the case with memory manufacturers for a very long time. The whole, you don't get the same memory. Like, you can buy 10 kits, you know, like, over the course of the year, if you actually, over the course of a lifespan of a certain, like, part number, the memory chips used in it will be completely different. Like, even the number of ranks will be completely different. So, yeah, and this has been a thing since the DDR3 days. Like, probably even the DDR2 days. It's just I don't know anything about DDR2. So, yeah. Oh man, that reminds me. On DDR3, there was so many different memory chip manufacturers that, like, Corsair had 9. I think it was 9 version numbers. So I don't actually. I think version 1.0, like the manufacturer. Well, anyway, but yeah, like you could get the same sticks, same spec, and you could get like 5 different memory chips. Actually, more than that. You could get like, well, 5 different memory chip manufacturers, and then like multiple different memory chips from each manufacturer as well, because you know, yeah, that's just how RAM has worked for the longest time. Is just like if it does the spec that it says on the box, that's the only thing that matters. They don't guarantee what parts you're going to get sent. And I'm not a fan of that, but the thing is, like, RAM reviews aren't really a thing, right? So that kind of like there's nobody to complain about it. So there's no manufacturer that'll go like, "Hey, yeah, we're now specifying which memory chips we use on all of our memory sticks." Right? And have like separate SKUs for different manufacturers. Cuz the thing is, like, yeah, like that's all you really need to do is like we have the Hynix DJR kits, and these are always Hynix DJR. These are the Hynix CJR kits. They're always CJR. These are the Samsung C-die kits. They're always C-die. Like, nobody does that. And they could do that, but it's like nobody care. Like, I don't think anybody cares enough for that to be a thing. Because like if you're an enthusiast and you want B-die or you want your Micron chips for like memory frequency validations, well, if you want memory frequency validations, you go to Crucial, you buy the highest spec thing they sell you can get from them. And if you want B-die, well, there's G-Skill, right? And they're crazy. And also Team Group as a solid and Corsair. Like, Corsair sometimes puts out some, like hard B-die bins as well. It's just very rare that they do that. So yeah, and so if you want B-die, you have other options. Oh, and then like there's Patriot with the Viper Steel series, where the 4400 CL19 sticks are great. So yeah, and then for like the 3200 CL16, normie RAM. Who, like, normies don't care. Normies don't know that memory sticks can have different memory chips. So yeah, and this video is now completely off the rails. I got kind of excited when midway through I was like, oh, this is only 30 minutes, and I'm starting to feel like I'm running out of things to talk about. And then I went for another 27 minutes. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave any comments, questions, suggestions down in the comment section below. And yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and oh wait, no, if you'd like to support what I do here with actually hardcore overclocking, I have a Patreon. There's a link to it down in the description below. There's also the AHOC Teespring store where you can pick up shirts, stickers, posters, the usual YouTuber merch. There's a link to both the Patreon and Teespring down in the description. They both help out immensely with running the channel, so it would be much appreciated if you check them out. And that is actually it for the video, so thanks for watching, and goodbye.